Welcome back, everyone, to Time Out with Sports Adda. Rajasthan Royals putting their foot into the top two, and how it was looking like Chennai have just got that last breath of air to give that push and get that victory under their belt. But Salil, I think Rajasthan held their nerves, and Ravi Ashwin, my goodness, this guy cannot put a foot wrong in this year's IPL. If you look at the scorecard, Salil, could you tell me how demolishing was Ashwin's innings in the end?
Well, he got them home to begin with. I think he had a brilliant knock today. He clearly showed what kind of spirit he has because he's been promoted ahead of Hetmeyer and certain Riyan Parag, who happens to be a batsman. So
Yeah,
obviously coming at number five, I think Ravi Ashwin played a brilliant knock to get them home, and Yashasvi Jaiswal get them a brilliant start, tearing apart the fast bowlers in the first 4 overs. I think he played a brilliant knock of 59 and
yeah.
Rajasthan prevailed. So it just shows the kind of depth that they have. And in spite of Devdutt Padikkal not firing, Hetmaya not firing, they've still managed to chase this, albeit with a little pressure on them, put by CSK bowlers as well. I think a few of them did a good job. But a top team prevailing in the end, which has been the
Yes.
story of this IPL. It's not been a dilly dally one. It's either been they're winning most of the matches or they're losing most of the matches. I think that's been the difference in the points table as well. So,
Absolutely.
congratulations to them because they're playing Gujarat Titans for a shot in the finals on Tuesday. So they get a good 3 days rest and on they go.
Yes, absolutely. And in the end, Bhavik, those 20 runs, 25 runs that we were talking about, the 170 prediction you made before the start of the first innings, I think that is where it all changed for them because 150 on a Brabourne pitch is not that enough. Moreover, the fact that you've got so many inexperienced bowlers in your lineup, although you have MS Dhoni as the captain and everything is there in your, in your armory, but still not having that enough experience was,
Yes.
adding on to the pressure, don't you think, Bhavik?
Well, just as what even MS Dhoni mentioned in the post-match interview that they were slightly 15 runs short because looking at the
Exactly.
wicket, it was getting difficult in the middle overs to convert those fours and sixes. Yes,
Yeah.
it was a flatter trajectory. The power play was important. Yashasvi Jaiswal took care of that aspect. But then again, just as we mentioned here, still that slight bit of inexperience in the CSK bowling lineup, just prevailed, and that is what I really feel was the difference here. Because if you see Mukesh Chaudhary's penultimate over, he delivered four length balls.
Yeah.
Starting four balls, you go in, just hit the length hard. I'm not sure how much is that helpful for you. But then again, they'll have their learnings, no doubt. They've been part of one of the successful franchises, and I'm sure there is a lot more to learn. And even as MS Dhoni mentioned that you have to look at the process on how the how a player comes in and how he starts versus how he ends an IPL. So yes, it's
Right.
a brilliant learning curvature for them, sharing the dressing rooms with the great. But yeah, then again, it was an a slightly disappointed performance with that 15 to 20 run shot.
It was disappointing, Bhavik. You are right about it. But Salil, if you could tell me something about Prashant Solanki, this new man from Mumbai, new boy. Bhavik put some light on from where he is and what he has done. He's a Mumbai cricketer, young guy, 20 to 23 years old, a leg spinner, a traditional leg spinner who doesn't have those many variations like a Rashid Khan. But bowling that way, he has been picking up wickets. He's picked up a couple of wickets today. So do you think he could be a future prospect for Chennai moving ahead?
Oh, absolutely, and I think that's the platform these MS Dhoni and the seniors are trying to build. Because if they're going to
Yeah,
manage for a couple of more seasons, it's these guys who will bring the team up. So you clearly saw what they did with the Ruturaj Gaikwad in the first 2 seasons, and then last year he ended up winning the Orange Cap. So they obviously know how to nurture their players as a franchise, being
right.
one of the most decorated franchises, one of the few, and I think they're quite capable of bringing about some future IPL stars. So, like the Sri Lankan Malinga, as he calls, because he said
Yeah.
Maybe Malinga.
in his post match, he said, "Our Malinga."
Let's see.
I
Yeah.
think that's a brilliant. prospect because he was almost getting the ball to reverse in the end. He was not getting all the Yorkers right, but yes, he got a couple of dot balls. So that's promising for a youngster to remember and take it on, as his muscle memory for the next season, because that's what
season.
makes and brings out a better player in you. So quite
You're
rightly,
right.
I think Chennai's got quite talented youngsters that can really do something in this tournament next year.
Oh, absolutely. This season we've seen it all, Bhavik, Salil. We've seen a baby AB, we've seen a baby Malinga. We've seen, the best players not scoring runs and, players being under pressure, the legends of the game, if I may say so. And today we've seen one more strange phenomenon occurred because today's prediction results are all squares. No one's a winner today. If you can have a look at the results, this is the first time it's happened in the history of Sports Adda
Wow.
where all of us have got two apiece because in the first half, I guess all of us had gotten almost everything wrong, and in the end,
Yeah.
we can say three of us are self-proclaimed
All of us
winners.
are winners, yeah. All of us are winners.
Yes, yes,
We don't lose it.
yes, we never lose. So excellent predictions here. I think Chennai made sure that they wanted to prove us wrong, and they did, with our predictions at least. So it was just that kind of a day. But Bhavik, just asking you now, moving forward, Rajasthan Royals will be playing Gujarat Titans. Like Salil mentioned, they have a couple of days of rest. Do you see any changes in the game plan for them? Because I think this was a clinical performance, yes. But then Josh Butler getting out early, it's been like 3 games. I think he's not gotten to he's not capitalized on the start that he got to. 600 odd runs. He's well ahead in the leadership of the orange cap. But moving ahead in the tournament, this is where you want your best players to peak at the right time. And this is the business end of the tournament. If you lose, you snooze, you lose. It's something like that. So, do you think Josh Butler's form could be a worry of concern, some point of concern?
Well, throughout the tournament, we have spoken about the fact that if Joss Butler scores big, Rajasthan's
Rajasthan
scoreboard
win.
looks altogether different. So,
Yeah, yeah,
this is something very bothering for Rajasthan camp. Of course, it was Ravi Ashwin's heroics that sort of guided them home tonight. What if this total was around 175 or 180? So,
yeah,
these are some factors where Rajasthan Royals will have to, sort of look into. They'll have to, sort of sit together, just plan things accordingly, target bowlers
yeah,
specifically, because even Sanju Samson and Devdutt Patikal have been scratchy. They've got the
they have.
starts, they sort of get out after the 35 and 40s what they make. Tonight, it was a perfect, setup for them to just go there, finish a game, but then again they just couldn't compile again. So these are a couple of things. These are the what we call as hot areas that these guys will have to sort of look into. And I guess
You're right.
Gujarat is one team which won't give you so much chances. We have seen
They
that
won't.
in the
Yeah,
league stages. We have seen that in the league stages, and now these type of errors or these types of judgmental errors is what I would say. I'm not sure how much of that will impact Rajasthan, but Joss Butler and Trent Bolt need to fire in the power
right.
plays.
Yeah.
You're right about Josh Butler. I completely agree. Trent Bolt, yes, today he had an off day. That's very unlikely of him. We've seen him demolish bowlers, batsmen in the power play and just rule from one end. But Salil, the positive for RR this season has been their spin duo. Okay, this is the last question that I want to ask you before we end the show. How good has Ashwin and Chahal been together? It's a new partnership they formed. So just something in your opinion, what do you think of these two?
When this auction happened and when towards the end they picked up Ravichandran and Ashwin, Yash, I thought they're obviously going to play both of them in their first game, and their
Yeah,
places are fixed for all the matches because you just cannot make these guys sit on the bench if they're fit. They're so good together. They've hunted in packs, and this year has been quite special for them. Quite a new attack for Rajasthan the auction, and Sahil now holding the purple cap along with Ashwin, who's taken 11 wickets, has had an excellent economy and has scored almost 200 runs. So he kind of clearly doubles up as an all-rounder. I think scoring
yeah,
200 with the kind of position you're coming and yes, being promoted a couple times and scoring big, I think is absolutely brilliant. So the kind of contributions they are doing to the team adds on to something that the batsmen or maybe a few bowlers are not able to do. And that's where I think Rajasthan have got the edge that even though they had a Hetmeyer out today, and we thought that all right, this was Hetmeyer territory to face, but he's not there now. Who's going to do this? Is it Riyan Parag? No one would have thought of Ashwin, but he just
No one.
kept going on. And he clearly showed with the kind of intent he had and his celebrations during the match. And he's quite emotional that way, not to express on the field. We all know that. But I think how important this victory was for them and for Ashwin, because now they got options. I think sadly out of the whole equation, maybe a Padikkal must have left out because he's batting at number 4. But apart from that, all other things are quite good for
Yeah,
Rajasthan. They go into this match with a victory, whereas Gujarat go into this match with a setback against
the
the RCB.
defeat.
So that will also be playing on their mind a little bit, if not everybody, maybe a couple of players. So it's going to be a
Possibly.
tight. Now it's getting tighter, by the day. So that's how it's going to be.
And to end this show, we just like to, I'm sure Bhavik and Sahil would agree with me. The captaincy of Sanju Samson has also been a revelation because we all know that he's a calm lad and he's very composed and all the things are right in his place. But then stepping up with the guidance of Sangakkara, Malinga, all of these people in the coaching staff has really shown that his character has come out. You know, he's also grown as a cricketer, as Sanju Samson. And we've seen something really remarkable this season where the young people who have never captained a side are actually leading their side to victories, and it's brilliant to see this. Gujarat first time players, first time captain Hardik Pandya, Sanju Samson, a very young captain, got a
Yeah.
chance in the playoffs qualifier one now. So it's going to be a cracker jacker of a qualifier one on Tuesday. Thank you, Salil and Bhavik, for joining with me. Both the best teams are in the top two, and I couldn't be happier as to how this IPL has panned out. And this was Time Out with Sports Adda. Thank you to all our viewers for joining in. Take care.